All right. Now, what exactly is Melissa Gorga yapping about on the Jeff Lewis show? Well, she gives us a little bit of insight as to who is her new neighbor where she lives now at the beautiful new Gorga house. We are going to get into that. But before we do, you know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't already, turn on notifications. And as always, I do like to, read and hear your comments, guys. So definitely chime into the comments below. With that said, let's get into it. All right, so Miss Melissa Gorga, she was on the Jeff Lewis show. So, what did she say on the show? Apparently, she has a new neighbor buying the land or the house across the street from her. So obviously on the show, Melissa Gorga, Joe Gorga, they did their new home, and obviously when they were doing their house, the inside, the outside, the Gorgas got a lot of flack to the point where they had to like fix entire windows on the outside, take out that black chandelier she had on the inside. But now it's all done. It looks beautiful. Remarkable job to the Gorgas. So that's one property done. And now, for whatever reason, they have their eyes on a property across the street from them diagonally, according to Melissa Gorga on Jeff Lewis. So I guess Joe wanted to put in an offer or, see what's going on there. And for whatever reason, Joe could not get his hands on the property across the street from them, which also has a lake view. So beautiful. And it turns out the property across the street from them that I guess that just went up and it's ready for sale. The Wakiles made an offer and got the house. So now it seems like the Wakiles will be living on Melissa's street. Now, on Jeff Lewis, Melissa also talked about how she used to live in this very, I don't know if she said like the street or like that specific area. And then Teresa and Louis moved in that same area. So technically, Teresa and Melissa, they're not that far apart. They're like a couple minutes apart, is like my understanding. Like they're not that far apart. So if Melissa and Teresa and the Gorgas, Louis, Teresa, if they were all on good terms, they would just be taking like little bike rides down the road or running, from house to house. It would have been amazing, seeing the two, like the brother and sister, be good together, their spouses, of course. Now, would you guys like to see the Wakiles back on our screens? These two, I have to say, seeing the Wakiles off the show, they have had an amazing glow up individually and together. Um, he looks like an older stud. Kathy Wakile just looks like one of those gorgeous women who just lunches and lounges all day. Their daughter, I know, got married. She's also on TikTok. I've seen some of her content. The mom and dad, they're also on it. Beautiful family. So, and they have a beautiful home, they have beautiful taste. I think it could be great. Now, Melissa Gorga also talked about how the Wakilis are like a good influence on Joe, and of course, Joe and Kathy, their cousins. And of course, Kathy watched Joe grow up. And it's sad that they're not as close as they used to be. The rift in Jersey, it's pretty bad, guys. Guys, before the show started, these were like real families, real, siblings, cousins, brother in laws, sister in laws. And now, because of this show, yes, all these people have made, I'm going to say millions of dollars at this point, not just the show, but beyond the show, all the partnerships, brand deals, their own businesses and whatnot. I would say, at each family, they've made millions of dollars. And if not millions, then definitely hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would say. And it's not just about the money, they've also gained notoriety. Now, if we had Jersey old school, we had, the Gorgas, the Giudice. Well, I guess it wouldn't be the Giudices because now Louis is in on the picture and we see how that's going. And then who else? The Wakiles. The Manses, I don't know if, yeah, with Caroline Manzo, good job. She's dug a hole that she's never going to get out of. And then I guess we can't really get the Manzos because Dina is now in California. And every time Dina was on my screen, guys, when Jersey first started, I was pretty young. So I would just like flip channels and I'm like, oh, what is this show about? It's like moms and their pretty kitchens and they take like, I don't know, they take their kids to school. Like that's how I got into Jersey. I was like, what are these moms up to? What's going on here? And like I have family in New York, so I was like, oh, what's going on in Jersey? So anyways, I don't think we're ever gonna get old school Jersey back, but the way Melissa Gorga was talking about it on Jeff Lewis, it just seems like maybe there's some hope. I mean, I'm hopeful that all these families get back together and maybe there's like some sort of a reunion picture with all of them and their kids. At the end of the day, us, the fans, we've invested so much of our time getting to know these people and seeing them grow up. So now it's kind of like, come on, guys, just get along. This show is going to go away, and Jersey's probably done as we know it anyway. So you might as well get along. And according to Melissa Gorga, they all live so close together. So it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, you guys have spent so many years hating each other. At the very least, just like be cordial and take like bike rides together. I don't know. I'm very hopeful to have Teresa and the girls, the daughters over here, Melissa and Joe over here, and then the Wakiles, I guess, are buying the house diagonal to Melissa and Joe Gorga. And I guess Melissa, she was saying the house across the street has lakefront view, so it's an even better view, a better location. I don't know. I think all of their homes are gorgeous. Like, there's not much more to say that about that. Like, they're all quite privileged where they live. It's beautiful. Whether you have the plot here, the plot there, it's only going to get so much better. Now, in this interview, even Jeff Lewis, usually like when I watch him, he usually eggs people on to not to be terrible, but to be like more shady because he loves, I don't know, he loves to egg people on is what I've noticed. And it's usually like fun shade for the most part. But in this case, even Jeff was like, you know what, you guys have to like make up at this point. And, since the Wakiles are buying the lot across from Melissa and Joe, I almost feel like it's like meant to be because according to Melissa, like Kathy had eyes on that lot for a while. She has an in with the realtor, so then they ended up, the Wakiles ended up getting the bid for the lot, and then Joe's bid, obviously, his bid didn't go through since the Wakiles are getting it. My point is, I think this is meant to be. I think this is the universe showing that the Gorgas, the Wakiles, the Giudices, all these families just get along. This show is going away. Anyways, guys, subscribe if you haven't already. I cover all things, Bravo, Housewives, chat about some VPR, some pop culture tea. I got you. And with that said, I will catch you later.